$850 billion. That's how much America spends on its military every single year. To put that in perspective, that's more than the next 10 countries combined spend on their militaries. That's the entire GDP of Switzerland. That's $2.3 billion per day, 95 million per hour, 1.6 million per minute. Right now, as you watch this video, the US military is spending $1.6 million every 60 seconds. Where does this incomprehensible amount of money actually go? Is it worth it? Is it wasteful? Today, I'm breaking down every single dollar of the $850 billion US military budget. The answers will shock you. Some spending is brilliant, some is absolutely insane. And by the end, you'll understand exactly why America spends more on defense than most countries spend on everything combined. The single largest expense in the military budget? People. $300 billion goes to personnel costs. That's paying, housing, feeding, and caring for 1.4 million active duty troops, plus another 1.6 million reservists and National Guard. Break it down. $162 billion for salaries and wages. A private makes about $25,000 per year. A four-star general makes over $200,000. Average across all ranks? About $60,000, slightly more than average American civilian. But here's what civilians don't get. Free housing or housing allowance. Free food or meal allowance. Free healthcare for entire family. Pension after 20 years. That's worth another $30,000 to $40,000 in benefits. $60 billion goes to military healthcare, Tricare. This covers active duty, retirees, and their families. That's 9.5 million people with comprehensive medical coverage. $78 billion for military retirement and pensions. Serve 20 years, retire with 50% of your salary for life. Serve 30 years, get 75%. These pensions last decades and add up fast. Why so expensive? America has an all-volunteer military, no draft. That means we have to pay competitive wages to attract talent. Countries with conscription spend far less per soldier because they force service. We choose to pay premium wages for professional warriors. Is it worth it? Compare results. American military is the best trained, most professional force on Earth. The investment ensures that every branch, from the Army to the Space Force, remains a professional, elite organization. Every dollar spent on personnel is an investment in global stability and national security. Providing lifelong benefits for those who serve is a core commitment of the American defense package. You get what you pay for. $270 billion. Operations and maintenance. This is what it costs to actually run the military day to day. America has 750 military bases in 80 countries. Each one needs electricity, water, supplies, maintenance, security. That's $130 billion right there just keeping the lights on. $70 billion goes to training and exercises. American pilots train over 200 hours per year. Each flight hour in an F-35 costs $25,000. One pilot, 1 year of training, $5 million. But that's why American pilots dominate. They're the best trained on Earth. $40 billion for fuel and energy. Aircraft carriers burn hundreds of thousands of gallons per deployment. B-2 bombers cost $150,000 per flight hour just in fuel and maintenance. Tanks get 1 mile per gallon. When you operate the world's largest military, fuel bills are astronomical. $30 billion for equipment maintenance. Every F-35 flight requires 16 hours of maintenance work. Ships need constant upkeep. Rust never sleeps. Vehicles break down. This is the hidden cost nobody talks about. Why so high? America maintains global readiness. 11 aircraft carriers must be operational at all times. Nuclear forces on 24/7 alert. Ability to respond anywhere on Earth within hours. That constant readiness is extremely expensive. But it's also why American power projection is unmatched. $140 billion for procurement, buying new weapons and equipment. This is where the shocking price tags appear. F-35 fighter jet, $80 million each. America is buying 2,456 of them. Total program cost, $1.7 trillion over its lifetime. That's not a typo. Gerald Ford-class aircraft carrier, $13 billion each, building 3 of them currently. Columbia-class nuclear submarine, $7 billion each, 12 planned. New B-21 stealth bomber, $700 million per aircraft, buying at least 100. These numbers seem insane until you understand what you're getting. The F-35 can detect and destroy enemy aircraft before they even know it's there. One F-35 pilot can do what required 10 pilots in older aircraft. Saves lives through technology superiority. But then there's the waste. The infamous examples. $1,280 for a coffee cup, $90,000 for toilet seats. How? These aren't Home Depot items. They're custom manufactured to military specifications, certified for extreme conditions, produced in tiny quantities. Economies of scale don't apply. Still outrageous. The real scandal, programs that get canceled after billions spent. The Army's Future Combat System, $18 billion, then scrapped. The Navy's Zumwalt destroyer, halved from 32 ships to 3 after costs exploded. This is where budget critics have legitimate complaints. Not every dollar is spent wisely.
$110 billion for research and development. This is investing in future military dominance, and it creates technology civilians use every day. DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, created the internet. Yes, the internet began as ARPANET, a military communication system. GPS was military technology open to civilians. Drones were military before hobbyists got them. Microchips, touchscreens, even voice recognition that powers Siri, all came from military research. Current R&D focuses on $35 billion for new weapons technologies, hypersonic missiles, railguns, laser weapons. $25 billion for cybersecurity, protecting critical infrastructure from Chinese and Russian hackers. $20 billion for space systems, satellites, space-based weapons, surveillance. $15 billion for artificial intelligence and autonomous systems, drones that think, weapons that identify targets. $15 billion for advanced missiles and hypersonics, staying ahead of China and Russia. Then there's the black budget, classified programs we don't know about, estimated $60 billion or more. This is where next-generation stealth, secret weapons, and classified technologies come from. Is this spending justified? Military technological superiority has prevented major wars for 75 years. When America is 20 years ahead in technology, adversaries don't dare attack. That deterrence is worth the investment. Investing in research isn't just about winning the next war. It's about making sure it never happens.
So is $850 billion worth it? The answer depends on what you value. The case for this spending. America hasn't fought a major power war since 1945. That's 75 years of relative peace among great powers, unprecedented in human history. Why? American military dominance makes war between major nations unthinkable. The U.S. Navy protects global shipping lanes. 70% of world trade moves by sea on routes America guards. Without that protection, global economy collapses. NATO relies almost entirely on American military. European allies spend half what they should, relying on U.S. protection. We're subsidizing their defense. As percentage of GDP, $850 billion is only 3.5%. During the Cold War, we spent 6 to 7%. During World War II, 40%. By historical standards, current spending is moderate. The case against, waste and fraud are estimated at $125 billion annually. That's 15% of the budget lost to inefficiency, corruption, and incompetence. Some weapons programs are clearly unnecessary. Do we really need another aircraft carrier when we have 11? Could probably cut 10 to 15% without harming capability. Opportunity cost, $850 billion could provide universal health care, free college for all Americans, rebuild crumbling infrastructure. The money exists. It's a choice about priorities. The truth? The budget is necessary but could be far more efficient. America needs strong military for global stability, but waste should be eliminated. The question isn't whether to have a large military budget. It's whether we're spending it wisely. And the honest answer, sometimes yes, sometimes no.